In the midst of a storm, only the truly brave get to taste victory. The lion never loses sleep over opinions of a sheep, and weaknesses never reaps what a winner can concede. This is the Premier League, where legends are born, stars are created, and talent is cultivated. Welcome to the Premier League Deadline Day Countdown Show.
Welcome back to Spy Sports News. Incredible breaking news at Chelsea today. So much going on for them. They're trying to crack some deals, and we'll have an exclusive outside Stamford Bridge in just a moment. Alvarez seems to think he'll be the perfect fit for Thomas Tuchel as he misses training for Ajax to try and force through a move, the holding midfielder. Of course, Chelsea in disarray at the moment in that position and struggling. So it'll be interesting to see if they get that move done, potentially due to the delay at Spy Sports News. Potentially by the time this goes out, we will have that done. And that move could be confirmed. So really much looking forward to seeing if Thomas Tuchel can get his man. He has since looked desperate for a midfielder, it would seem, according to reports, despite not needing or feeling like needing one just a week ago. But let's go to our exclusive Tim outside Stamford Bridge for our live reporting. He has more on the situation.
Yep, Steve. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic reporting for you and Sky this transfer window based upon Chelsea. I'm here outside live Stamford Bridge, and it's been fascinating to cover the transfer news this summer in terms of the incomings, the outgoings. It's been absolutely astonishing from Todd Boehly and the consortium, the way that they've come in and they've managed to put their footprint on this football club with Thomas Tuchel clearly at the helm in terms of the transfer targets that they've been pushing for. We've seen deadline day links and moves potentially with Aubameyang from Barcelona, as well as Marcos Alonso potentially going the other way. On top of that, Alvarez from Ajax has been linked as well, the Mexican holding midfielder, as we see an injury crisis potentially in the midfield involving N'Golo Kante, Mateo Kovacic, and of course Jorginho, the only real senior option in that double pivot role. He's obviously got Gallagher suspended, who will be potentially back at the weekend, but it has been a tough time for Thomas Tuchel in terms of the midfield options. Now, my understanding is with this deal from Alvarez is it's going to cost around about potentially the €50 million mark, maybe more. Of course, Ajax would be having to sell at a very inconvenient time for them. The Aubameyang deal has been moving on for weeks now, and we are, as of yet, still really waiting for confirmation. Now, potentially, we have some more breaking news with another player, goes by the name of Matisse. Don't think he's actually made any appearances for the club, but he has today announced, and we are about to get an exclusive interview with him, that he is joining the Chelsea women. Now, this does seem to be an odd move for a male to then try and join the women's team. I don't think it's quite legal, Steve, but we will be having an exclusive video from the Kings Meadow from the player, because it's a strange one. Many times Chelsea have been, and fans and players have been, accused of glory hunting, and his explanation seems to be around about those lines in terms of the success. It's why he wants to move, the success that the women's team, Emma Hayes, have achieved in terms of the league titles. He's obviously seen Chelsea absolutely destroyed against Southampton and Leeds this season, and off to a slow start, and clearly he's not a fan of you know, sticking around and would rather transfer to women's team to try and take some more trophies this season. But it is an odd one. It's quite unprecedented, Steve, and it's not something that we've seen before in the sport. But we will be having an exclusive interview with the player himself. Didn't actually really see him on the club website, so it's going to be interesting to find out if we even have this one spot on. But we will have an interview with the player in exclusive, and we will discuss this in an interview, because I do feel like it's something that could be maybe even bigger than the Aubameyang and Alvarez news on deadline day. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Apologies to the viewers for any mistranslation or misinformation in terms of Matisse and whether he was a player or a fan, but it does appear to all be kicking off at Chelsea this morning, this evening. Now, there's been some back and forth between Leeds and PSV in terms of Gakpo. 1 minute he's going, 1 minute he's not. We're not quite sure what is going to be taking place, but it does feel like Alvarez is a more likely deal to get done. And as this does drop, it may even be done. So it'll be interesting to see if we've got that one spot on. And finally, Aubameyang. Listen, he and Chelsea have been in negotiations for quite some time, advanced talks. But again, according to my sources, Alonso is going to be included in this deal, and our credible Ornstein comes out and says that a 7.5 million euro deal is about to be completed, with Marcos Alonso going the other way, who is already in Spain waiting like Udinwingi. It's quite incredible. Now, Chelsea have also tried to get Gal Vidal from RB Leipzig, but he is looking like he's going to sign a new contract, and that deal will not be getting done. Rafael Leao, another player that Chelsea were apparently putting in a 100 million euro bid for, has been swiftly rejected by the Italian club, and it doesn't seem like that move will be materializing either. No updates on Neymar, no updates on Ronaldo, and no updates on Kaká. So Chelsea, we'll see if there's any more business to be done. But let's go to our exclusive Tim outside Stamford Bridge for our live reporting. He has more on the situation. Tim?
So Steve, we're joined now by Matisse for his exclusive interview. Unfortunately, I can't be there in person, but we will be able to have a live feed from the King's Meadow with him with certain questions. And he's joined us now. Hello Matisse, first of all, welcome to Sky. First of all, I want to ask you just what is your motivation behind joining the women's team on deadline day from the men's team, and is this legal? Hi Jim. Yeah, I mean, I've had enough. You know, I really wanted to make this switch in my career. I felt the time was right. I was waiting until the window was over, and I thought, you know, no better place to be than the King's Meadow with the women's team. Like, really, can you blame me? Look at the start to the season we've had. You know, Leeds absolutely thumped and slapped and beaten and bruised. And then you take a look at the Southampton game and it just gets worse and worse. Tottenham, yeah, we could have won the game, but we didn't. So no point crying about it, is it? At the end of the day, I'm not happy. And now I am. So I've seen the women's team, they're winning trophies every year. Emma Hayes is absolutely just charismatic as hell. The strikers are putting the ball in the back of net. You know, Sam Kerr, you know, England, you know, Kerr. What more can you want? So I've come here and no looking back. I hear you was also inspired by Emma Hayes and you know, the documentary that was covered on the Women's Champions League channel in terms of the journey that they went on, obviously successful league titles that they've won, you know, Bethany England, Sam Kerr, amongst many others that you seem to be very much willing to play with, or at least try and maybe support this season as a fan. I'm not sure. Are you actually even a player? Yeah, I mean, you speak about illegal and, you know, is this really right? But at the end of the day, I'm not a player. I don't know if you've got that modelled up in your head or something, but professionalism on your part. But yeah, I'm not a player. I'm just a fan. And some will call me a glory hunter, but the badge is still the same, Jim. So it's like, really, what can you say to me? You know, what can you really say to me? At the end of the day, I've stayed at the same club. I've just moved to a different part of the club where there's more success and there's more trophies and there's more happiness. And you know, you have to think about my mental health. You know, you have to really question, do I need to continue to see us beaten on transition? Do I need to see us continuously missing chances? Do I need to see us continuously, you know, putting people to sleep? You know, for me, it's a situation now where I've I've tried to back the team, but then I found the team with the same crest, same colour shirt, and just the women, and I think that's fine. So I don't really feel like I'm breaking any rules in the fandom world. And if this doesn't work out, I'll move to the youth team. So here's what it is. Oh, okay. Well, it appears we have this. So this is really just, you're just a fan that's glory hunting then, and you're just looking for a way out. It seems like you've had a miserable time as a fan following Chelsea this season in terms of the results. Is there any, I mean, I know this is live on air and this is kind of awkward, but are you okay? Yeah, it's emotional, man. It's emotional. I don't really want to get into it. I mean, it hurt my heart. You know, I mean, if you want to get into it deeply, I haven't really had much sleep. You know, I haven't really been myself. I feel like these results are taking an toll on me. Haven't been eating right, and you know, I booked a therapist, and you know, it's probably not the right place to say this, but it's expensive. It's expensive, Jim. NHS won't cover it, and you know, you have to make decisions in life. You know, you have to really take into account the amount of games there are this season. I mean, what are we, 5 games in? There's 38, Jim, and how many more weeks do you want me to do this? You know, these results, and then this is without Champions League and the cup competitions, and you know, the World Cup. We're in England, and we know how that's going to go. So it's expensive, Jim. I don't really have the facilities for that. I don't have the capacity to be spending the money on all of the treatment I'm going to need. So yeah, I mean, it's a touchy subject. We can talk about it. We should probably private cut the interview. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks. Yeah. We didn't appear. We weren't really of the knowledge that you were so distraught, and we didn't realise this would be such a tough situation for you. Of course, maybe therapy or some sort of counselling is what is really needed, not a broadcast. So we're going to wrap up this interview, Matisse, but thank you so much for joining us, and we really do appreciate your time this morning. Yeah, I mean, it's a touchy subject. We can talk about it in private. Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Not a player, actually a fan. Apart from that, I feel like this has been good. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Apologies. Apologies, Steve. I didn't know he was a fan. I thought he was a player. Yeah. To be fair, that doesn't make sense, does it? How would a men's player? Yeah. How would a men's player join the women's team? Yeah. That's my bad. He's just a glory hunting fan, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least we have some live images and vlogs. He seemed happier earlier. He sent those over in the Gmail in the file. He seemed a lot happier earlier on when I last spoke to him anyway. He was really enjoying his trip to the King's Meadow. Don't know what's happened now. He's broken down. Yeah. Oh, we're still live. Oh. So thank you so much for joining us today, live from Stamford Bridge. Apologies for that. We appeared to have got that one wrong in terms of player and fan, but clearly a tough start to the season for Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel, and of course that has, I guess, impeded and impacted quite a few fans as well as players potentially on the way out, with Christian Pulisic linked with moves away, and there's quite a lot of, you know, concern on social media for his future, as well as of course Marcus Alonso, like we said earlier, could be moving on the deadline day. Billy Gilmour to Brighton, as well as potentially Michy Batshuayi, who is clearly not part of the plans, and many other first teamers. We will bring you more news on the players and not the fans, but it appears that his mind, Matisse, has been made up tonight. Thank you. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Tim. So we look forward to keeping you up to date here on Spy Sports News, and please do make sure that you're following us on the app and on all channels as well, because our package is quite expensive. Thank you. And cut. Wow. What a great day. What a great day. I know I was meant to wear a yellow tie, but I'm not Jim. I do things my way around here, guys. I don't want to hear any... I see you sniggering over there, Sarah. I don't want to hear it. I made a mistake. It's my first day on the job. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. Deadline day. Not joke man day.